Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Today, we are diving into a highly controversial topic that's stirring up the South African political scene. Former President Jacob Zuma is once again in the spotlight, but this time, it's for something quite serious. He has refused to pay a R1.3 million debt owed to the economic freedom fighters, EFF. This debt comes from a defamation lawsuit that the party successfully won against Zuma, and despite a court order mandating him to cover the legal costs, reports suggest that Zuma has yet to settle the amount. So why is this such a big deal? Let's break it down. The situation goes back to a defamation case where the EFF sued Zuma for remarks he made that were deemed false and damaging to the party's reputation. The party won the case, and the court ruled that Zuma should pay for the legal expenses incurred by the EFF during the trial. The total amount was set at R1.3 million, a significant sum that Zuma is now refusing to pay. This isn't just about money, it's about accountability and the rule of law. The EFF is adamant that Zuma should fulfill his legal obligation, and they're not backing down. In fact, they've gone as far as to call for the sheriff to seize the money directly from Zuma's residence in Kandla if necessary. Zuma's refusal to settle the debt is fueling frustration, not just among EFF members but across the country. Critics have accused Zuma of ignoring court orders and setting a dangerous precedent by disregarding legal rulings. In a country that prides itself on its democratic principles, this act of non-compliance raises serious questions about how far people can push the limits of the law without facing consequences. This isn't the first time Zuma has been involved in a legal battle or ignored the law. Throughout his presidency, and even in the years since, Zuma has been involved in numerous legal entanglements. From the infamous Kandla scandal to the ongoing corruption cases, Zuma's history of legal battles is long and controversial. But this latest episode, involving the EFF, is especially significant because it comes at a time when Zuma's reputation is already in question. His defiance is only adding fuel to the fire, and many are asking whether he feels above the law. The EFF is not taking this lightly. They've made it clear that they will continue to pursue legal action to get the money owed to them. They've called for the sheriff to intervene, even suggesting that Zuma's assets could be seized to cover the debt if he refuses to pay. An anonymous senior member of the EFF has expressed outrage over Zuma's non-compliance, labeling him a lawbreaker who is failing to meet his financial responsibilities. It's clear that the EFF is committed to holding Zuma accountable, not just for the money he owes, but for setting an example when it comes to respecting the courts and abiding by the law. The party's commitment to ensuring that Zuma pays up is a strong message to the public and to anyone who thinks they can flout legal orders without facing consequences. The EFF believes in accountability, and they're not about to let Zuma slip away without paying the price for his defiance. So, what does this all mean? Zuma's refusal to pay could have far-reaching consequences, not just for him, but for the political landscape in South Africa. Legal experts are warning that if Zuma continues to ignore the court order, the sheriff may be forced to seize his assets. This is a last resort measure, but it may be the only way to ensure that Zuma faces the consequences of his actions. There's also the issue of Zuma's political standing. While he still has a strong support base, his refusal to comply with the law could harm his reputation, even among his most loyal followers. In a country that values democracy and the rule of law, Zuma's actions are starting to paint him as someone who operates outside the system, which could undermine the trust of the public. On a broader scale, Zuma's defiance highlights a larger issue in South Africa's political environment, the challenge of holding public figures accountable. South Africa has made great strides in building a democratic society, but cases like this show just how difficult it can be to ensure that everyone, no matter their status, adheres to the law. Zuma's case is a test for the South African legal system and whether it can stand firm in the face of defiance from powerful individuals. As you might expect, this situation has divided public opinion. Zuma still enjoys a dedicated following, particularly among those who view him as a victim of political persecution. Many of his supporters argue that the legal cases against him are part of a broader political agenda to discredit him and remove him from the political scene. For them, Zuma is a symbol of resistance against what they see as a corrupt elite that wants to silence him. On the other hand, critics argue that Zuma's actions, especially his refusal to pay the debt, show a blatant disregard for the law. They believe that his refusal to comply with the court order is a sign of arrogance and a belief that he is above the law. This view is echoed by political analysts who believe that Zuma is damaging his own legacy by continuing to defy legal and social norms. As the situation unfolds, all eyes are on Zuma and the EFF. Will Zuma settle the debt, or will the EFF follow through with their threats to use the sheriff to seize his assets? If the sheriff is called to Nkandla, it could create a massive public spectacle, further complicating Zuma's already tumultuous political standing. The EFF is committed to holding Zuma accountable, and their stance could set a precedent for how similar cases are handled in the future. If Zuma continues to resist, it may signal a shift in the way public figures are treated by the legal system. No one, not even a former president, should be allowed to ignore court orders without facing consequences. In the end, this case will likely have far-reaching implications for South Africa's political and legal systems. It will test the strength of the rule of law and whether South Africa can hold powerful individuals accountable, regardless of their status. So, what do you think? Should Zuma be forced to pay the R1.3 million debt, or is this just another example of the political persecution against him? Will the EFF succeed in getting the money, or will Zuma continue to defy the law? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates on this developing story. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an update from us. See you next time.